Our world has many unique countries. However, there are a few pairs of countries that have barely any differences between them. The data from the Country Similarity Index was used to compare every nation. The analysis looks at each country's demographics, culture, government, infrastructure, and geography. The results show that the following three pairs of countries have the least amount of differences between them. Two of the most similar countries in Europe are the Czech Republic and Slovakia. Both are landlocked nations located next to each other in Central Europe. Both countries have a temperate climate, although Slovakia is slightly colder and more mountainous. Only in 1993 did the Czech Republic and Slovakia become independent. They were once a united country called Czechoslovakia for over 40 years. The reason they broke up is that Slovakians wanted more independence from the government in Prague, while many Czechs disliked the amount of economic support given to the less affluent Slovak region. Czech Republic and Slovakia are parliamentary multi-party democracies. They both have a prime minister and a head of state that is elected by popular vote. Both countries are members of the European Union and NATO. Therefore, their borders are open, allowing their citizens to work in each other's countries visa-free. While Czech and Slovak are considered to be separate languages, they are mutually intelligible and their people have little trouble communicating. Furthermore, both countries are predominantly Catholic, although Slovakians tend to be more religious than Czechs. Their infrastructure is quite similar. Both countries drive on the right, use standard gauge railroad tracks and have Type C electrical outlets. However, Czech Republic relies on coal power plants, while most of Slovakia's electricity is created by nuclear power. Two of the most similar African countries are Burundi and Rwanda. They are landlocked countries located next to each other in the Great Rift Valley. Burundi and Rwanda have nearly the same land area and population density. The terrain of these countries is quite hilly and both have a tropical savanna climate. From 1916 to 1962, these countries formed the territory of Rwanda-Urundi, which was ruled by Belgium. Before colonization, Burundi and Rwanda were separate kingdoms with their own monarchs. Consequently, upon gaining independence, the territory reverted to its pre-colonial divisions. This reflected the historical governance structures of Burundi and Rwanda. Both nations have a presidential form of government with a bicameral legislature. The legislatures of these countries are dominated by one party that often rigs elections. Their laws are quite conservative. Polygamy and prostitution are criminalized, while abortions are highly restricted. Kirundi is spoken in Burundi and Kinyarwanda is spoken in Rwanda. But for the most part, these languages are mutually intelligible. One of their biggest differences is that French is the predominant foreign language used in Burundi, while English is more often used in Rwanda, although both are official languages in these countries. The infrastructure in Rwanda and Burundi is not well developed. They are among the countries with the least vehicles per capita in the world. Due to Belgian influence, these nations drive on the right and use Type C electrical outlets. Both countries use little electricity and are reliant on hydropower to create much of it. The index suggests that Qatar and United Arab Emirates are the world's most similar countries. They are both located on the Arabian Peninsula and border the Persian Gulf. Their landscapes are almost entirely barren desert, except for their bustling cities that feature many modern skyscrapers. These countries were once British protectorates, but when the British decided to leave Qatar and the Trucial States, these countries planned to unite under one state comprised of 9 sheikdoms. However, small disagreements led to Qatar being independent from the United Arab Emirates. Their governments are technically constitutional monarchies, but in practice very few people are allowed to vote in these countries. Both nations are part of the Gulf Cooperation Council, so their people can travel freely between each other and can even work without a visa. Interestingly enough, UAE cut off diplomatic relations with Qatar in 2017, but has since renewed them. Qatar was accused of supporting terrorism and fostering close ties with Iran, among other grievances. The vast majority of the citizens of Qatar and the UAE are Sunni Muslims. A majority of their people natively speak Arabic. Many immigrant men have come to Qatar and United Arab Emirates for work, so these nations have a far greater amount of men than women. Both countries have a high standard of living. Their economies are strong due to a large amount of oil and gas reserves. However, their water resources are scarce. Both countries rely on groundwater and the desalination of seawater. So, which countries do you believe are the most similar? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Please like and subscribe to the Objective List channel, as there will be even more interesting videos coming soon. For more insights and analysis, please visit objectivelists.com for new and thought-provoking articles about our world.